some cold hard cash, and 'tis the season that we all could use a little extra green. David Bleazard from First Service Credit Union is here to show us two big ways to put some extra cash in your pockets this season. Please welcome him to the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so the way that you're going to do that is something that we can use that extra cash. The way you're going to do that is really easy. But first, before we get to that, let's explain the difference between a credit union and a bank, because a lot of people, I think, are still confused about that, and sometimes might think, do we need a credit union and a bank, or can we do all our banking through a credit union?
Oh, you can do all your banking through a credit union. We have every product and service that any bank has in the country, but we're different in that we are a not-for-profit cooperative, where all the members who belong to the credit union, they're the owners of that institution. Now, what's nice about that is that means that every penny we make goes back to those members who own it. We don't have any stockholders to pay, no debt holders to pay, just our members.
Yeah, is that why, like a few years ago, we saw all the craziness with the banks? It's like credit unions weren't coming up in that.
No, we weren't involved in any of those troubles over the last few years, and that's really great for all of our member owners.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if you have ownership in it, as you said, there's this thing called, I don't know, fiscal responsibility.
Oh, well, there's a wonderful concept, right? Yeah, we really try to take care of members' money, and we know whose it is. And so we're going to be very careful loaning Jim's money to Jane because we know where the money came from.
All right, let's talk about some ways to put that cold hard cash in our pockets right now.
Oh, we have some great ideas for that. You know, today, for an average credit card holder who carries a balance, we know that an average credit card holder is carrying a balance of over $15,000 at a rate of over 20%.
That's crazy. You know, I think a lot of us where we got into trouble is that we kind of had that class in school where you studied percentages, right? And we're like, okay, okay. And then compounded, it's like, yeah, sure, sure. And that really adds up quickly.
Right. And adds up in a negative way for the average consumer. But at a credit union, the highest interest we're ever allowed to charge is 18%. And the average interest rate on a credit card for our members is somewhere around 7 or 8%.
Wow. Okay, so it would make sense to do credit card balance transfers?
Oh, yes. And in fact, we offer an incentive. Anyone who transfers their credit card balance to us, we give a 1% rebate right up front.
Okay, we're taking a look at right here, because again, when you say percentages, for a lot of us, it's hard to compute, but when you see it this way, it makes more sense.
Right, and this is a real-world example from a member that recently did a balance transfer with us. They had a $10,000 outstanding balance, and they were paying 21%, which is not uncommon.
Yeah, and if you're just paying the minimum, you never pay it off.
Oh, it's going to take about 40 years to pay off. But at our credit union, our interest rate that we offered this member was 7%, and they received a 1% rebate to do the transfer. So that means the balance was lower to start with. And that means that we save this member about $1,271 a year.
Yeah, it helps to take that pressure off. You know, you can either save that money, or especially this time of year, you can kind of calculate, if I'm saving that, then maybe I can spend it for some things that I want, right, for the holiday season. I don't know.
Who wouldn't want to have $1,200 in their pockets if they could spend it on Christmas gifts, right?
Yeah, all right, for ourselves. No. Okay, and then the other place where we find ourselves paying and trying to keep our heads above water oftentimes is on a car loan.
Oh, yes. You know, we offer a great refinancing program. If you have an auto loan anywhere else, you can come to the credit union and we'll pay you $150 just for bringing your car loan to us in the first place. But on top of that, we're usually a much better deal.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look at this example right here.
Yeah, again, this is an example from a member that we refinanced just the other day, and they had a loan with an outstanding balance of around $18,000, and they had 55 months remaining on their car note, and they were paying $400 a month. But when they refinanced with First Service Credit Union, they were paying $360 a month, which is a $40 savings per month back in your pocket. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that you do is, I know a lot of times people will complain about not having a relationship with that person at the bank, or you go in one day and somebody else is there, or somebody says, I don't know who you are. Having that relationship is really important because it's about more than just the application and what you see.
You know, Deborah, that's exactly right. Look, giving credit, extending credit to a person that's not an empirical science, it's an art. And so the more you know about a person, the better you are able to help them and serve them with credit. So at a credit union, that's what we want to do. We want to know you. We want to know you and your children and your grandchildren. We want to have a good relationship together. And so that's critical for us to extend credit.
Yeah, so there are ways to save money by refinancing, but higher dividends is also another way to get that extra cash, if you will.
Because we're a not-for-profit cooperative and all of the money that we earn goes back to the members, the way that it does that practically is in higher rates on your savings and checking accounts and lower rates on the loans that you have. So, as I mentioned before, if you have your relationship with a credit union versus a large retail bank, over your lifetime you're going to save about $17,800 in fees and charges.
Okay, that's a lot, because I was just getting ready to say to you, you know, we're creatures of habit, and we always kind of put in the back of our mind, yes, I'm going to make the switch, that sounds good, but we get busy and we forget about it. We know what's familiar to us. So what, besides that, would you say to someone who is sitting on the fence right now to just do it right now?
Look, it couldn't be easier today. Go to fscu.com and click join. And in about 5 minutes, you can join the credit union. And anybody in the Houston or Waller counties are eligible to join. If you live here, work here, worship here, attend school here, you're eligible. Couldn't be easier.
Yeah, because a lot of people think you have to be a part of like a teachers union or some type of group to join the credit union.
And in the past, that was the case. But the rules around membership are a little bit more relaxed today. And so with our credit union, if you're eligible, join, and we'll tell you. Just click join on fscu.com, and you'll know immediately whether or not you're eligible.
Yeah, and when you do that, there's a third way First Service Credit Union can put some extra money in your pockets. And if you do that, what happens? Well,
how would you like to just get $25 just for joining the credit union? If you go to fsu.com and click join, you'll get $25 right in your pocket with a MasterCard gift card.
Oh, that's awesome. Just for joining right there, you get 25 right off the top right there. All right, so do that in the first 24 hours. So that means you got to start starting now, right?
Right. If you go online in the next 24 hours, we'll give you a $25 MasterCard gift card just for joining the credit union.
All right. So that online account, just go to fscu.com, as he said. If you have further questions, you can call them at 713-676-7777, 713-676-7777. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
We're looking for another way to earn cash this holiday season. Get more green by selling your gold and silver next.